Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Dream Queen. Perla here. Gotta clear that up a little. So, any questions as to what it is that I do, how do I do it, how do I get the songs, services that I provide, and things like that are gonna be down below in the description. So we're gonna jump right into Cancer's reading. The song is Impossible by James Arthur. It's actually, I really like that song. I was listening to it and I was like, huh, I never heard this. Have I heard it before? I really don't know. I don't think so. Anyways, the verse that came through was, falling out of love is hard. Falling for betrayal is worse. Cancers, what have you gotten yourself into? I don't know. It feels like you and Pisces are kind of like in the same thing. It's like, you got out of a relationship that took a toll on you for, emotionally and spiritually and things like that. Had you question certain things and things like that. So you thought that it was not the connection for you, but you fell for something even worse. So it was not so much of an illusion, because I feel that the red flags were put there for you to see or feel or sense, but you didn't. You chose not to. And deep down inside of you, you knew that this was not the connection that you should have gone into. And the person that you went into this connection with, this relationship with, went in with the intention to betray you. Went in with the intention that they were going to teach you a lesson. We do not need energies like that. So it's like you grieved from your connection with your person, and you wanted to find something to replace that. And even though things may have been going good in the surface, underneath it, like underneath, your little sensories, you knew that the new relationship that you were starting off with was not where you should be investing your time and your energy. There were other things that you were supposed to be focusing on, as far as growth within yourself, growth within spirituality, growth within your workplace or relationships with family members, kids, or whatever it may be. But you chose that another love connection was what you needed, and you got burned, meaning the person was only out to basically just teach you a lesson. Some of them did it consciously, some of them did it more subconsciously, because it was what was meant to happen. And now you're in that betrayal mode. Some of you, while you were in this connection, your person might have been out dating or just socializing more. And some of you see that as a betrayal because they didn't sit down and wait for you. Just because they're all socializing, first of all, with other people does not mean that they're with another person. And if they do choose to be with another person because you so chose to be with somebody else, how is that a betrayal? Okay, let's get started. Not today, guys. It sucks when you're given certain messages, when God, universe, source, whatever you choose, I say God, tries to warn you in many different ways not to go a certain path, and you still choose to go that path. Because it's like, if you had gone down path A, which God told you to go down to, you maybe would have had 2 or 3 trials. But you chose to go down path Z. So you went as far away, the opposite way that you possibly could, And it was like trial after trial after trial after trial. So many of you have lost so much because you chose to go into this connection. Whether you lost material things, whether you lost people, whether you lost whatever it is. A lot of you have lost your self-esteem, your self-worth, your identity. You have lost yourself completely because of this connection that you chose to go into. And it's like, okay, I told you to go down this way. You chose to go down that way. Now, I was trying to prevent all of these things from happening because some of these things are things that you have experienced in the past already. But, you know, I guess you didn't get the memo the first time around. So let's go ahead and do it again. And it was like, and in essence, you didn't really have time to take a breath. You didn't have time to recover from one thing when the other thing was falling apart. And it just kept happening and happening and happening and happening. And then it's like you get to this point where you're just like, what the heck? Like, and then you just sit quietly and you're just like, what just happened? And get this little tap on your shoulder, and God is like, go take a nap. I'm going to show you what just happened. And everything is played for you. Everything is revealed to you. And you're just like, you wake up and you're like, fuck. And now you see your person. I'm not saying that they are in another relationship, but you see them happy, and you see them happy without you. You see them enjoying life. You see them moving forward through the pain, through everything, and you're just like, how dare they? Seriously? Did we just not learn anything from everything that just happened to us? So for those of you that are stuck in that, how dare they? Let's take a moment. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out, and go take another nap so that you can revisit everything and take what you're supposed to learn from it. Because it's not how dare they. They're not betraying you by being true to themselves. They're not betraying you by healing themselves, by moving forward. So make sure that your anger, that your guilt, your whatever it is that is going inside of you is pointed in the right direction. And the only direction that it should be pointed at is the mirror, so that you can look at yourself. Do not fall into that thing of wanting to blame other people for your mistakes and for your actions because of the consequences that now you have to face. So take a second and get in front of a mirror. Okay? Because I feel like some of the Cancer energies are going to want to do that, and we cannot do that. Cannot do that. Cannot do that. Okay, moving forward. For those of you that are DFs and are within this energy, because of the fact that you have been able to stay true to yourself and you have been working on yourself, whether you're a DF or DM, you have been putting in the work, you have been finding what your path is meant to be. A lot of the things that happen with your person did not affect you on an emotional level as much as they used to before. Because yes, you can still sense their pain, you can still sense their anger, and you can still sense like their guilt and despair and things like that. But it no longer has a hold of you, because no longer is that person your main priority. Your main priority is yourself. Your main person is yourself. You are taking... Sorry, we got cut off and I'm not exactly sure why. I had an alarm go off. So what I was saying was the person that has been working on their alignment and has been working on themselves, you have realized that your main priority has to be you. You have to give yourself that self-love. You have to motivate yourself. You have to push yourself. So even though you feel your person's pain and you feel what they're going through, you acknowledge it and you send them love and you send them, you know, clarity and strength and everything else, but you're not allowing that energy to overpower you, which is a wonderful thing. And honestly, that's amazing when you can get to that point. Okay. Now, some of the Cancer's energy are going to be in that back and forth with wanting to blame other people for the consequences that now they're facing. Some are going to stay stuck in that energy just because of the simple fact that they do not want to take any self-responsibility for their actions. Those that decide to take a second nap and go and get a little bit more clarity are going to be able to come out of that and realize where in themselves they caused the what is the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. Oh, excuse me. That was my nap alarm. So I gotta go take a nap. So it's in essence like they're going to do the hard work and go within themselves and see where it is that they messed up, and where within the connection that they had with you, they chose not to take responsibility for certain things. And they're going to be able to shift that energy so that they can start healing the current energy that they're in, because they're heartbroken, but it's more of their ego is being excuse me, their ego is under attack. So people can react one or two ways. Either their ego becomes stronger and they put up more walls, or people surrender and just allow God to work within them. So there's two different groups. There are groups that want to surrender and are looking for answers on how to surrender. And then there are groups that, sorry, I'm sitting on my ball. And then there are groups that are just choosing to blame everybody else. You yourself know where you fall, where your person falls. Oh God, excuse me. I am going to go take a nap. And I am going to have to finish your reading later because my body's starting to like act up. And I can't see anything anymore or feel anything. All I want is sleep. So I think I am going to go ahead and take a nap with Cancer so that you guys can get your clarity and I can get your clarity as to what other messages want to come through. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye-bye. Hi guys, and welcome back, I guess. So this is an attempt, anyways, to finish the Cancer reading. As much as I can remember about the energy, because I did not go back and watch the previous video that I made, like the first half. So if I repeat myself, I apologize. Something in regards into a relationship that somebody went into that they shouldn't have gotten into, because the person was the other person was intentionally going into the relationship to hurt a particular person. I think. I hope I'm right. Let's see. Okay. So, the energy that I am sensing is one of those, whether you're the Cancer or your person is a Cancer, however it fits. Like I said at the beginning, you know, the other part of the video, it seems like one person is just trying to go with the flow, trying to not allow the recent mistakes or challenges bring them down, but having a really hard time trying to stay like at a higher vibration, if that makes any sense. Because it's like they realize that they fell like straight into a trap. They realize that the red flags, the warnings were there, but they chose not to see them. They chose to ignore them. They chose to go into something that they knew deep down in their gut that they shouldn't have gone into. And it's like now they're realizing how much they have actually lost, and the person that they have actually lost, in essence, when it comes into the relationship that they chose to go with versus the relationship that they were being called, that their heart was pulling towards. For the DFs that are connected to the Cancer energy, it's like you're going to start seeing, how can I, what word should I use? I have it in my head and it doesn't want to come out. So it's like, so I'm going to try to explain it, and then hopefully the word comes through. And if not, hey, go ahead and comment a word that would go good with this. So it's like, okay, so yeah, there you go. We'll use that. So it's like you're finally starting to see the fruits of your labor. So you're starting to see how aligning yourself and working within yourself and focusing on you and focusing on the self-love and focusing on just allowing things to happen versus trying to force them to happen allows your person. So again, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a male or a female. We're just talking about energy-wise. Allows your person to realize why things are happening. So in an essence, as you have put in the work to align yourself and continue on the journey, even though at some point you felt that this wasn't worth it, you felt like you wanted to give up, but something inside of you just kept you going, kept on pushing you, regardless of how many times you wanted to give up. So that is helping your person move through the current breakup or heartbreak or whatever they're feeling, because not all of them are heartbroken because of love, but more heartbroken because they were used. So it's more like the ego was hurt versus their actual heart. So as you have put in that work to align within yourself, it is allowing them to come out of that faster. If that makes any sense. Some of them that are in that place where their ego has been hurt, unfortunately, some of them are going to choose to want to hurt other people. And if that happens to be your person or that happens to be you, first of all, if that happens to be you, I would advise for you to think twice about it, because whatever, my hair, like right here sticking out, it's like bothering me. I don't know why that ever bothers me before. I don't know. I'm having one of those days. Because remember that what we put out into the world, what we put out into the universe, the energy that we choose to exchange with other is the same thing that's going to be returned to us. And if it's your person that is trying to hurt you intentionally because they feel hurt, because their ego has been hurt, just be mindful and think about how you're going to respond to them, and don't just react out of your instincts, if that makes sense, I guess. Because I feel like with the person that, you know, their ego was hurt, because it keeps on saying ego, not heart, they're replaying like everything from the beginning and trying to see how because they feel that there are people that that can tell or can read other people very well. So they're trying or can read situations very well as far as what is more convenient or what is going to help them get ahead and things like that. That is more the energy that I'm sensing. So I had to correct myself. So they're trying to decipher everything that happened within that connection that they were in and trying to figure out how in the hell they were played. And unfortunately, when we are stuck within those energies, it is very easy to release that into the universe, to release that into other connections that we have with people. So just always remember, what people say or do towards you or say about you or how people treat you has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with their own reflection. It has something to do with something that is hurting within them. It has something to do with something that they dislike about themselves. You just happen to be the person that at the moment, either one, cares about what they're going to, or two, it's just an opportunity because you're there, you're present. Maybe they try calling 10 people before they called you and you've picked up. So now they get to release all that frustration, all that anger, all that hurt onto you because you cared enough to answer the phone, or you cared enough to respond to a text, or you cared enough to meet up with them, or whatever, the case may be. So for those people that choose to be in that energy and choose to go out intentionally to hurt other people because they were hurt, if you're dealing with a person like that, then just breathe and keep reminding yourself that what they're going through has nothing to do with you. You did not hurt them. You did not cause this pain. You did not hurt their ego. You did not hurt their heart or whatever, that they're going through. So I'm not saying to just sit there and take it. If they start saying things that are completely out of line, if they start treating you a certain way, like right away or whatever, you just say, you know what? You're going through something, but I do not have to stay here and deal with it. And just like that, deal with it. And excuse yourself as you're walking out. Excuse me, bye-bye, and leave. Because unfortunately, when it comes to the twin flame journey, a lot of people have the misunderstanding that we are supposed to be doorknobs or floor mats. What is the other word I'm looking for? Stepping stones, I guess, for other people or for a person, and that is not true. And I feel that is where the journey itself has, I feel like I have to sneeze and it doesn't want to come out, where the journey itself has gotten a really, really, really bad name, because we are here to help our person align with us by aligning ourselves so that they can align within themselves, so that then together we can be aligned. But that does not mean that we allow them to use us. That does not mean that we allow them to abuse us, not physically, not mentally, not emotionally, not in any possible way. And a lot of people that are being awakened now to the twin flame journey, that is one of the main things that I want you to understand. Yes, we are supposed to love our person unconditionally. And again, I'm having so much interruption with this video. But we are not to just be there for them to do whatever the heck they want to do to us emotionally or physically. We, within our own self-love, are to set boundaries so that your person knows what is and what is not acceptable. Now, there is way to set boundaries from a loving place, and there is ways to set boundaries just because you don't want to deal with the person. You know what I'm saying? So, there could be hundreds of different scenarios. Somebody shows up drunk to your house. You don't have to go into a whole spiel of, oh, you only come over when you're drunk, this and this and this and that. You know what? If they call you that they're on the way, if they show up at your door and they're drunk, if they drove, invite them in while you go ahead, you call a cab or you call an Uber, you take their keys, you put their ass in a car and send their asses home. Why? Because you are not to sit there and babysit a drunk person that cannot handle their own personal emotional problems. Two, they're calling you when they're drunk and you pick up, and you can hear that they're drunk and they're rambling and rambling. Do not go into a spiel, oh my God, you always go. No. You know what? I'm trying to say something to you. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm not exactly sure what is going on your side, but I am going to hang up and we're going to continue this conversation when we're both clear-minded and we can both communicate effectively, if that makes any sense. Okay, kids are fighting. Guess one of the boys must be going into the girls' room because she's asking him to get out. So I'll deal with that in a minute. But like I said, there has been a lot of interference when it comes to Cancer's video. Give me 1 second. Back. All right, guys. So I am back. How to deal with that? Siblings. So happens. You have a 14-year-old, 3 9-year-olds. So no. Yeah, I keep forgetting the ages. A 14, a 9, and 2 8-year-olds. But the 2 8-year-olds and the 9-year-old meet for a couple of months before the year ends. So you have 3 kids that are in 4th grade, and one is on his my oldest. He creates games and he's putting videos together to help kids learn how to code. So he's like in his own little world with his headphones and stuff, and then 2 of the little ones, one of the twins and one of the boys, are like bickering at each other. So I had to pause, separate, and sit down, think about what you did, because when mommy's done, we're gonna handle this. Talking, not screaming. Perfect example of what you should be doing. So if a person comes screaming at you, do not engage. Shh. Not right now. Go cool down and we'll talk later. Because screaming, first of all, does nothing. Yelling back and forth is not going to solve any issues because of the simple fact that you're not listening because you're thinking about what you're going to say back, and vice versa. Now, if you try having a conversation when both of you are calmed down, or when the person has calmed down and you're talking and they're still not listening, then maybe it's just not the moment for it, and just step away. And when the moment is right, the opportunity will present itself again, if that makes any sense to you guys. So 3 is a crowd anywhere. So for those of you that were involved in third party, I guess is what people like to say, situation, it's just plain and simple. They were cheating. Because like third party, like trying to, no, cheating bastard or cheating bitch. You know what? They learned their lesson. They learned that you cannot play with people's heart. You cannot play with people's emotion. Because even if, usually the person that you hurt the most is not the person that hurts you back. It's the person that you chose over the person that you hurt, that ends up teaching you a lesson. Even if you weren't completely emotionally involved, you just wanted to do it because you could, that person is going to do the same thing to you. So that's why I'm saying, whether you are the person that chose to step out, or you're the person that was stepped out on, regardless of it, is always going to come down to whatever you put out is exactly what you're going to be receiving back. So with that being said, I'm going to end this part of the reading. And yeah, we got it done, because I was like, we're going to get this done. I am going to pull an oracle card. So these are the same ones that I use. I mean, there are like in all my other videos. I'm just going to pull up a card for what you should be focusing your energy on. if whether, so what we'll do is, I mean, I know most of the people that watch the videos on other people that step out are the people that were stepped out on or whatever. But for those of you brave enough to accept responsibilities for your actions and accept the consequences that come with those actions and actually go out there to see if there's anything that you can learn, I'm going to pull out a card for you guys, what you guys should be focusing on so that you don't fall into that energy of wanting to hurt another person. And then for those of you that were left for somebody else, I'm going to pull out a card for you so that if your person comes back trying to hurt you, or even if your person just comes back and they're not trying to hurt you, regardless of anything, you're going to have something to kind of like focus your energy on as far as what you should be focusing on. So I pulled the ones for the ones that, the first one that I said. I want this card. I'm telling you, these energies that are trying to interfere are getting stronger and stronger. Okay. So for those of you that are brave enough to take responsibility for your actions and your consequences, but do not want to fall into that, I want to hurt other people because I'm hurt, the one that came out for you was the Star Ancestor, and it says, follow the voice within your soul. So if we all take the time to listen to our soul, to listen to ourselves, to our higher self, to what's coming from within, we will always do what is, in an essence, right at the moment. So with that, what I'm being said is if you react just out of the moment, or whatever it is, you're not going to do what your soul is asking you to do because you're not taking the time to listen to your soul. You're just reacting to things that just happened or things that were said. So take the time to listen to your soul so that this way you can start going down the correct path. And situation that recently happened won't repeat itself again. For those of you that are in this energy where your person was the one that left or chose to be with somebody else over you and is coming back, whether they're hurt, wanting to hurt you, or they're just hurt and just want you to be there for them, the card that came out for you was Moon, and it says take note of intuitive messages. So again, it's almost like the same thing because it's like your intuitive messages come from God, source, universe, but the only way that you can receive those messages are if you're connected or aligned to your soul. When you take the time to listen to your soul, then intuitively you can receive the messages from, above, which is what I say. So actually, this is kind of like the same messages for both of you, but that is all I have for you guys today, and thank you for your patience, and I hope that you guys enjoy this message. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.